Here we go. Welcome to Facebook Live with me, Mel Rapozo, February 13th, 2019. We'll just wait a little bit, get people on. Let's see here. Hope everybody's having a good day. Clayton, thank you for joining us. Let me apologize up front. I got a little bit of a cough. Patsy and I fighting through a cold. Hey, Rylene, Ray, Ann, Larry, Lonnie. Long time no see, Lonnie. Christian, Dina, Kenny. Thank you guys for coming on early. Again, I apologize if I got to turn off to the side and cough a little bit. I think a lot of the people on Kauai get this cold and a little stubborn. Pat Baniaga, aloha, Coach. Brian, Chala, oh gosh. Rowena, got a lot of first timers, a lot of returnees. What's happening, Mr. Mel Rapozo? Freaking cold. That's what's happening. It's cold. It's weather. Chris Palmer, sister, all the way from Seattle. And I think we're cold. Oh, Chris, I can't imagine how I saw the pictures. What a beautiful picture of your house covered in snow. Cold. Napa, Joe, Sunny, Anthony, Malia, Grace. Thank you guys. Thank you. Gosh, a lot of people today. Brother Brian from the Big Island. Carlos, Debbie Akao. How you feeling, Debbie? So nice to see you out and about. Hope everything is going well for you. And Kathy and Chantel, N.A. Palmatier, Karen, Kenny, not too cold, right? It's cold here. Stacy and Mark. Hey, aloha, Mark. Long time no see. Pono. Aloha, Pono. Kimo Rosen, Lola. Is it, brother? Pono. Hey, we got to get together, man. We got to get together. I've been following you on Facebook. Proud of you, my friend. Proud of you. You got to teach me some of your stuff. Long time no see. Gerardo Rojas Garcia. Welcome. Yeah, I don't know where you're at right now, Pono. I know you're traveling the world, but here on Kauai, it's probably got to be about 60 degrees right now, maybe colder. I don't know. It's the wind. We get the ocean wind. And we get the mountain wind from the sleeping giant, so it's pretty cold. Leon, Sharon, thank you guys for stopping by today. We do this every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. Kimo Rosen, long time no see. Thanks for the fish burger, my friend. Hey, Lola, aloha. Thanks for stopping by. Shaka, Pono. Hey, Angie, how you doing? Yeah, I just had a nice little sit down with Kimo, with the Shadow and Lonnie, and just going over some things. Just a bunch of friends hanging out. Hey, Lisa Kimura, how's it, Leona? Hope you're feeling better, Leona. Hope you're feeling better. Yeah, just sit down and talk story. And McDonald's in Kapaa, what a good place to hang out and see old friends and enjoy a good fish burger. Started my diet few days ago, about a week, close to a week. Gosh, I was 248 pounds. This pig of me was 248 pounds. Shirts getting tight, pants getting tight. So made the decision, Patsy and I. So just got off the scale a little while ago, 238. So down 10 pounds already. And we're shooting, I got to lose about 40 pounds. So, hey, Lisa. So yeah, it's gonna be a little challenge, but we're committed to losing some weight. So anyway, hey Jan.
If anybody found one dog at Isenberg.
Oh yeah, Patsy's talking about Cody's dog. Beautiful golden retriever got loose again in Isenberg. So if you guys seen any loose golden retrievers in the Lihue area, hit us up right here on Facebook Live. Hey Glenn, nice to see you guys. Yeah, lots to talk about. A lot of, this state never ceases to amaze me with what goes on. We try to, hey Glenn, we try to keep up with what's going on Kauai. Kauai kind of quiet right now compared to the state and Honolulu, what's going on. Hey, Pono, hey, and feel free to text what you guys want to talk about. Chantel, thank you very much. Terry, aloha and welcome. Text what you like talk about or message me if you guys want me to pick on some items. I know we're probably all thinking about the same things here on Kauai, but not much action going on Kauai other than the traffic. I mean, Kapa traffic today was ridiculous. From Kapa, from the ballpark to the airport today, 58 minutes. 58 minutes. That's how long it took me. Unacceptable. Bitos, welcome, buddy. Welcome. So, I mean, aside from the normal traffic and everything else on Kauai, when you look at the news and you see what's going on in our state, some big stuff going on, and really affects the entire state. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. But hey, Parnell, thank you for joining us. I just want to say I really appreciate all of you guys coming on every week. For those of you that don't know, I have a YouTube channel, Mel Rapozo. Just go to YouTube and you can see all of our videos. Every week we archive it there, so you get to watch it if you bored out of your wits one day and you just want to go watch a Facebook Live with Mel Rapozo. Just go over to my YouTube page and you can watch every single episode is on there, which is pretty cool. Still learning this stuff, people, so bear with me until we get these things locked down. Want to wish every one of you happy Valentine's Day, early Valentine's Day. Hope you guys got your special someone a special gift. You know what, I go buy Patsy some flowers today, and she told me, let's just not buy anything and let's go out to dinner, have a nice dinner. So I asked the lady at the Flowers Forever, which is amazing service, and I asked her, I said, hey, when your wife tells you not to buy you flowers, is she lying? And she says yes. So I don't think Patsy was lying, but I mean, I just felt compelled, so we got her some flowers today and had it delivered today as just a day before celebration, so she gets to celebrate Valentine's Day twice. According to Kong, the signal at Kapule Highway and Aokiri Road was not working right today. Yes, it is malfunctioning. Hey, Brenda, Linda Masoli. Aloha, Linda. Oh, thank you for joining us. Gosh, good friend from Legal Shield. Appreciate you jumping on board. Actually, I want to talk to you later, offline. I'm planning some events here on Kauai and actually one in Oregon next month. And anyway, Linda, let's hook up offline. Arnold Leong. Thank you for joining us today. So yeah, the traffic lights apparently were not working properly, and I'm not sure how much of a disruption it caused, but I know that it really doesn't matter when the traffic lights work. It's still backed up all through Kapa'a. So I've always said we need more lanes of travel. So. That's not going to happen as I see. So we got to deal with it, live with it, schedule your travel around the traffic time. So anyway, real quick, happy birthday to Larry Moises. I know there may be others here on this session here that is their birthday. Happy birthday to anybody out there that is your birthday today. But my very good special friend Larry Moises, I don't think he's on yet. He usually comes on, but when he comes on, everybody wish him a happy birthday. He's a great guy, good friend, long-time family friend. So happy birthday to Larry and all of you that celebrates birthdays. But again, thank you. Grammy Madaris, all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. Not true. My husband don't buy me flowers. He gets me my favorite poke and lomi salmon better than flowers. Okay, now you're making me feel bad, Chantel. Maybe I can return the flowers and go trade them in for some poke and some lomi salmon, because I think Patsy would like that better too. Okay, good. Thank you, though. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you for the tip. Ed Phillips, how are you, Ed? I like your picture of the Patriot. Hey, my jersey finally came in today. This looks familiar. CJ Anderson came in after. Wait, where's this here? Rams? Yep, right there. After the Super Bowl. How's that? Brand new jersey. That's the one I put up for sale. And I had thousands of people wanting to buy that jersey, even after the Rams lost. But anyway, hey, Joy, Leilani, and Herb, thank you guys for joining. So anyway, that's kind of it. Let's talk about some issues here. Okay, sorry about this stupid cough. Where do I want to start? I actually want to, another congratulatory message. Kapa High School Division II state champs soccer, men's soccer. I don't know if you guys watched that game. I did. I got to watch that game. Watched it live. Coach Kevin Cram did a great job. What a game. Not really a soccer fan, but when you're watching kids that when you're seeing kids that their parents, or in some cases were so old, their grandparents, just watching them play their hearts out to the end, win that game 1-0. Congratulations to Coach Cram and the entire Kapaa High School men's soccer team. Also, Waimea High girls basketball coming in third place in the States. When a little team from a small island of Kauai can go up to Oahu and challenge the big dogs, much congratulations out to Waimea High School girls basketball and the Kapaa High School boys soccer. Awesome representation for our little island of Kauai. Congratulations to all of them. If you know them or you see them, or doesn't hurt to drop a Facebook congratulatory message on your page. They did extremely well, made us proud. So aloha, Kurt and Ida. Thank you guys for joining us. Okay. How's this rail audit request in Honolulu? I want to start off with that because a lot of people say, Mel, the rail is not really a Kauai issue. Well, last year the state increased our tourist tax on all the islands and took 1%, 1 full percent, millions and millions and millions of dollars away from the counties going straight to the rail. We all know that fiasco. A lot of us believe that they're spending way too much money. Yes, Ed, against those private schools. Yeah, they got to beat private schools. That's awesome. But anyway, so Councilmember Heidi Tsuneyoshi, brand new councilwoman from Honolulu, newly elected, brand new, going against the institution, introducing a resolution to do a forensic audit on the rail project. And a forensic audit, really looking at all the details, looking for, basically an investigative audit, unlike a performance audit that you would go, audit the performance of a program. No, this is an investigative audit that she's requesting on the entire project. I support that 100%. I think many of us saw or read about the prior audits that were done on Oahu. The claims that we had to pay millions and millions and millions of dollars because of totally I don't know how to say it, incompetent management, or hope not corruption. But anyway, Heidi has introduced this resolution, and it's gonna piss off a lot of people. It's gonna upset a lot of people. This isn't really about whether you support the rail or not. If you saw California, I believe it was California, they're canceling their multi-billion-dollar bullet train project because it's costing too much money, more than they anticipated. So this audit is really an attempt to find out if any of the monies were misappropriated, if we paid too much for contracts, if we padded the contracts. Hey, Caroline, all the way from Australia. Thank you for joining us. And Diane and Titi, my niece in Oregon. Thank you, guys. So Heidi saw the audits like we all did and raised some concern. And Logalani, aloha, and introduced this resolution. Now, I can tell you, it's going to be met with some very strong opposition. And I think from not only from her colleagues on the council, but from members of the administration. Mayor Caldwell came out and said, hey, whatever, we'll fully cooperate. But it's not like he won't have a choice. When the auditors come down, I mean, he's got to cooperate. What are you going to say? No, I'm not going to cooperate. Bottom line is that needs to be looked into. I think we all agree the construction cost for the real project, probably $5 to $6 million. Where the heck is that other $5 million going or went? And I think that's the question that's in many of our minds. Hey, Norman and Jay, thank you for joining us. So anyway, Heidi is she's introduced the resolution. I believe it's going to be heard at the end of the month at their committee meetings. I have her office number and it's 768. I'm just going to put this right here. Heidi, I forgot that I can actually type this stuff. Heidi, and her office number, 768-5002. If you guys feel compelled to show her some support, just call her office and let her know that you support the effort. Shoot her an email. It's something that needs to be done. Hey, Arthur and Grace, thank you for joining us. It just needs to be done. And again, I told her, I was on a radio show this morning and talking about this, and I said, I hold a record on the Kauai County Council for introducing the most resolutions for performance audits in the county of Kauai. In the history of this county, I, in my term on the council, my terms, hold a record, but I also hold a record for most resolutions for audits that never passed. In fact, none of my audits passed except one a couple years ago for the Humane Society. But all of my audit resolutions for the public works and the planning and other departments all failed, couldn't get out of the council because councils don't like to do audits because of their connections and relationships to people in the administration. So what I told Heidi was, you can expect a really bumpy road, but don't give up. Stay the course. Fight the fight, because that real project affects us all in this state. Somebody's going to have to pay for that. And it's not just going to be this generation, but the next. So I hope and pray that, hey, right on, Arthur. Arthur, you should do a resolution at the county council level supporting her resolution for an audit. I think that would show a bunch of support for the people of Hawaii. I think we should do that because obviously that project needs to be looked at. So anyway, look forward to that hearing. I may even fly up to Oahu to testify in support because I believe it's that important. And I don't know what the outcome would be, but a forensic audit would definitely find out. And it may take a while to do, but and at some cost. But at the end of the day, I think the people of Hawaii deserve to know where our money is going. And again, they say we don't. It doesn't affect the people of Kauai. Well, it does. It does. Once they touched our TAT and made that go straight to the rail, it became a statewide issue. So I will send it to you, Arthur. Thank you very much. Cannot even fix the scale at the dump. You don't even know, Bitos. I have tried, and I think I've mentioned this. I can show you the communications that I've sent over to Lyle Tabata at the Public Works. For whatever reason, they choose not to fix the scale. Right on, Arthur. Appreciate the support, buddy. Thank you, Arthur Bruin, councilman here on Kauai, supporting that. And your phone's going to start ringing tomorrow, buddy. You're going to feel the heat. But, hey, Arthur, tell them, fear the beard. Fear the beard, because you know what? It needs to be done. Hey, do ohana. Right on. Whatever happened to transparency and accountability? There's always transparency and accountability until somebody does something wrong. Then the transparency and accountability goes out the window. But yet it is the county council's responsibility. And I'm talking about council member Tsuneyoshi out there in Oahu, brand new. I respect her so much. I never met her, but I respect her so much for standing up against the institution and saying, wait a minute, time out. You guys are telling us that all these audits are coming out saying that we're paying too much money, we're taking too long, we've screwed up in our contracts. So I think we need to look deeper. And she's doing the right thing. So she's definitely going to need our support. Shelly, aloha, Shelly and Harvette, thank you very much for joining us. So that's hot in the news. And it's only going to get hotter for Heidi and all the supporters of this audit. And I think there's a lot of people feeling uneasy right now in this state, in the government as well as in the private sector, who contributed to this astronomical costs and these delays of the project. So we'll see how this thing all pans out. And obviously we'll keep you posted right here on Facebook Live every week. So again, Facebook Live every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. And my YouTube channel, Mel Rapozo. For those of you that just joined in, go to my YouTube channel and you can see all of the archived sessions that we've had. Some of them are pretty funny, actually. And but hopefully always informational and educational for all of you. All right. How about Catherine Kealoha? 54 count indictment released, I believe it was yesterday or maybe yesterday, I think. Now they're catching her for distribution of drugs. This is the deputy prosecuting attorney from Honolulu that just got taken down for all kinds of stuff. and out on bail and awaiting trial. And then the feds just dug up again her and her brother, Dr. Rudolph Puana. Those of you on the Big Island may know who he is, but apparently they had a thing going where she was Avon. She was the brother, who's a doctor on the Big Island, was prescribing all of these oxys and fentanyls and Xanax, and somehow getting the drugs over to the sister on Oahu, who was distributing the stuff. This is the allegations. I mean, obviously, haven't been proven yet, but they had enough evidence to get an indictment, a federal grand jury indictment. So those charges are now added on. But what is this world coming to? When you look at a former county or a prosecuting attorney, and then the prosecuting attorney, Keith Kaneshiro, also in a bunch of hot water right now on Oahu as well. So I don't know. I'd like to know your thoughts. I mean, it's kind of interesting that all of a sudden, when you look at Hawaii politics or Hawaii government, you see all of these scandals popping up, and it's interesting that the targets are all of these law enforcement officers. We know about Catherine's husband, the former police chief. He's still awaiting trial as well. Started off with theft of mail in a mailbox, and then it went into all kinds of stuff. And now the most recent development, a 54-count indictment, federal court indictment for distribution of drugs and covering up and protecting the drug dealers and actually distributing the drugs on Oahu. Unbelievable. And this is a little mailbox. Started off with someone accusing someone of stealing mail, and then man, the feds really went after him, and we still don't know how this thing will end. I do know that if these people are convicted, they are going to spend a lot of time in federal prison. So interesting this morning on the news anyway, they said that Catherine Keloa had not been arrested, that she was expected to show up in court to answer the indictment. I'm not sure if she was subsequently arrested. I didn't follow up on the news, so I don't know, but I would expect and hope that she got arrested like any other person indicted by a grand jury would be. But I should have followed up before I came online tonight. But yeah, that's pretty interesting stuff. Hey, Keith and Nathan, thank you for joining us. And then we got our Keith Kaneshiro, who's been a target of the FBI on the same investigation. Hey, Norman, Skipper Holt, thank you for joining us. So now the Attorney General has petitioned the Supreme Court to suspend Kaneshiro because they feel that ethically and morally and everything else, it's not a good idea for him to stay in office. Well, I agree. When you get a target letter from the FBI, a target letter means you're being investigated for something you did wrong. Hey, aloha, Chad. And you're the top law enforcement officer for the city and county of Honolulu. Yeah, you should step down. When the county attorney, city and county of Oahu, city and county of Honolulu, their corp counsel, their county attorney got her target letter, she stepped down and said, hey, I'm just going to take leave because I don't want to cause any improprieties over here. And I think Keith Kaneshiro should do the same. But he's not. He's refusing to step down. And hey, aloha, pops, my dad from Seattle, right on. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, he's saying no. I'm not going to step down. I'm going to continue to work. And yet, the interface between the prosecutor's office on Oahu and the police department is a very, very close connection. And the investigation is involving the former police chief of Honolulu Police Department. There is definitely a connection there that should be preserved as far as the integrity. And the best thing for Keith to do right now would be to step down. Now we'll see what happens with the Supreme Court. I really don't know how who has the authority to suspend an elected official like the prosecutor who gets elected by the electorate, the people. So I'll be interested to see if the Supreme Court is going to suspend the prosecuting attorney. I don't know how this will play out. You can impeach them, you could file a motion to impeach, but I don't know what role the Supreme Court plays in this as far as an elected prosecuting attorney. So I agree. I think he should step down. I think he should do it on his own. We should be willing to do that. But listening to the news this morning, he's not. He's gonna fight this, and he'll fight any attempt to remove him from his office. So we'll see what happens. But I gotta say, when you get a target letter from the FBI, and I've never got one, but it usually doesn't end up well. Simply because when you get a target letter, the FBI usually has enough evidence to target you for something. So we'll see how that plays out. Mayor Lingo used federal money to hire 20-some new officers from the mainland. Internal affairs experience or real military police investigators got priority. Our vice department managers all quit or retired. That was on Maui. Yeah, I don't know what will happen. Hey, Paul and Lynn, thank you for joining us. I don't know how that will pan out, but I know based on what the feds and the priority that the feds have put on this case, and the scope has expanded so far. Who knows where it'll end up? Who knows how many other people will be touched? How many others will get target letters? But that'll be a something to see as we move forward. So. Anyway, again, thanks for joining us. Hey, Andreanne Lutao Arsgaro, thank you for joining us. Again, if you guys want to chat about anything, just put it in the message box. We covered quite a bit of what's going on Oahu. There was no council meeting today on Kauai. I guess they didn't have items for the agenda, so they basically canceled today's committee meetings. So there's really nothing to report on that. I will, again, reinforce my concern or restate my concern about the results of our own county audit, which was done by an external CPA firm on Oahu, and the results are online, and the results weren't good. I mean, and our accounts haven't been reconciled for a long period of time, since 2017. Some of our housing projects were the reimbursements weren't eligible. P card violations, again, I think it's like the third or fourth year in a row. So I'm hoping our council will take the opportunity to dive deeper into these findings from our auditor and come up with some recommendations. Keep in mind, this audit was done on a prior administration, not the current one. So I just think that's something that should be done. Not to change the subject. Hang on. Not to change the subject or anything, but does Tulsi have to give up her seat as representative to run for president? She doesn't have to give up her seat while they run for the Republican nomination, as long as so she can keep her seat until, if she wins in the primary and she's going to become a presidential candidate, then she has to step down. Not step down, but she cannot run. So basically, she doesn't become a candidate for the Congress seat. So yeah, it's pretty cool for her. She's really got nothing to lose, and a whole bunch of people now dropping their names in. Hey, Auntie Millie, don't forget HPD's anti-terrorism unit was allegedly used by chief and assistant to obstruct justice. I mean, there's been a lot of scandals throughout the years, and I think, like I said, by the time this ends, I think we'll see a lot more people involved. So yeah, Larry, I hope I answered your question. She won't have to resign, or she can stay there until the primary. And if she should be successful in the primary, then she obviously cannot serve or run for 2 seats in the same election. But yeah, she can still there. Every audit of P cards has shown the same HR failures to properly train or discipline staff misusage. Yeah, I would agree. And in fact, this is a recurring violations, recurring incident, and for some reason people still continue to have access to the P cards. The simple answer is you just remove the authority. But I think a deeper look needs to go in and see if these transactions are legitimate. When you're buying stuff with P cards without approval, there's a pretty good chance that those purchases are maybe not authorized. That's why you didn't get the approval. So again, for me, it's just, let's take a look, let's look into it, let's clear the air and set up policy going forward, especially with a new administration, so these things don't happen again. Yeah, Vaughn, we talked about it. We talked extensively about it. I fully support the forensic audit request, a resolution by Councilwoman Suneyoshi on Oahu. We talked about it, brand new Councilwoman, first time, and stepping up for the people of Hawaii. I appreciate her. I respect her, and I stand behind her. And I hope we all do. Definitely a cause that worth fighting. I think we all deserve to know where the hell is all the money, and why is it constantly growing and costing more and more and more. Seems like women making a run for the presidency. There's over 460 candidates trying to run. Yeah, I think we got some notable females. Kamala Harris. I'm not sure. There's been a bunch, and I kind of drew a blank right now. But as far as Hawaii is concerned, Tulsi's the only Hawaii candidate running. I'm not going to sit here and endorse anybody. I'm just going to say it's going to be an interesting race to run, and it's still early, so I think you'll see many more. Hey, Kaleo Perez, Kamehameha, Rob Abreu, Tiana Pangan, thank you guys for joining us. I'm curious to know your thoughts. What are you guys' thoughts on the presidential race? We're coming up on another potential shutdown. Trump has said that there will be no shutdown. We'll see how. And again, I apologize if any developments had occurred today. I haven't paid much attention. I was kind of busy all day. So, but I know that the Congress has put forth a bill that was agreed upon by both sides, and we'll see what the president does. I do not want to see another shutdown. I think that is an embarrassment to this country. But to everyone, members of Congress, Senate and House, as well as the White House and the president. I think when this country shuts down and forces people to work without pay, it's an embarrassment. It's a complete embarrassment to the abilities of our leaders in the national government. So anyway, Bethany, I'm excited about Cory Booker. Yeah, there's going to be a ton of people running, I think, and the parties are going to have to vet all of this out and find out what who the heck is going to be the final and really is anyone going to run against Trump on the Republican side? That'll be interesting to see. But I tell you what, he's definitely gets the message out. If you watch the State of the Union, whether you like him or not, it's pretty impressive how he put that together. And then his last rally a couple nights ago, he has the ability to rally up the crowd. Hey, Tiffany, thank you. And Tino and Tamara, thank you for joining us. Definitely has the ability to rally the crowd, and we'll see how this thing plays out. There's so much hate on both sides. I don't want to say it's fun to watch because it isn't, but if this was a movie, if it was fiction, it would be hilarious. Unfortunately, this ain't fiction. This is real, and this is a world that we live in today. Woman president, nothing wrong with that, but don't vote because she's a woman. Vote if she's the right person. This is how we get in so much political trouble. Dems are all for late-term abortion. I think they're catering too much to the far left. Nobody can beat Trump. And that was comments from two separate people. But Jay, I agree. I don't know. Everyone is so up on race, on this equality and but yet when a woman runs, then it becomes a topic. It's like, because she's a woman, we should vote for her. I agree with you, Jay, that the gender shouldn't matter. It shouldn't. It's who's qualified for the job. I have absolutely no problem with a woman becoming a president of this country. I know a lot of women that are great managers and leaders, and I think would do very well in leadership roles. But the fact that they're a male or a female should have no bearing on whether or not I vote for that person. I think we look at everybody and we look at their qualities, the character, we look at their experience, and that's how you determine who you're going to support. I was impressed with his State of the Union, but then I remembered his speech was written for him. Hey, Susan, thank you for joining us. I'm almost positive somebody wrote it for him, but the delivery, that's where it comes. Anyone else could have read that same speech and it would have had a different outcome. It's fun to watch. He's fun to watch, and we'll just see how this stuff plays out going forward. Again, I wish it was a fictional movie or a fictional book, but it isn't. This is real life, real world happening in front of us, with many people's lives being affected. And again, this this goes out to both sides, White House and the Congress. You guys need to grow up and start learning to work together and start realizing that you represent the people of this country and not your political party or not your leadership in your political party, but you represent the people of this country, and that you should be making decisions based on that and not your affiliations. So I'm sure I'm pissing off a lot of people right now, but that's okay. That's why we have Facebook Live, and to basically share and and dialogue and start the dialogue. I love when people actually put messages in the box, because I love to respond to them. So yeah, please, whether you agree or disagree, put it in the box so I can actually respond. Marijuana legislation, again, the states is moving forward. Our state is moving forward pretty rapidly. I was happy to hear at least they state looking at the edibles as a bad thing. I think that's causing a lot of problems. A lot of emergency room calls in the states that marijuana is legal, recreational marijuana, because of poisoning and too much edibles, and the concentrate. The problem with edibles and those that aren't properly marked with the potency of the marijuana, the THC content, you can get sick from it like anything else. You eat too much of anything, you get sick. So the state, the last I heard anyway, was that they were going to basically kill the amendment or regarding edibles. Again, that could have changed today. I know there's a lot of discussion going on. I stand by my position. Getting a little, again, Facebook is a great tool, and I do post a lot of my opinions on Facebook. But, when I put it out there, it's really to spark dialogue. And there's no real need to come back and be a jackass about it. Just we can agree to disagree. And I read some of these responses in the comments like, wow, that guy's pissed off because I said I don't support recreational marijuana. God, did I touch a nerve? And yet the person that supports recreational marijuana, I fully respect that position. I don't agree with it, but I fully support it, and I love to hear your justification. But man, when you disagree with someone and to come back and just hammer, oh God, it actually makes me laugh, because I think, wow, these people, the minds are so small that it's my way or the highway. No, listen, that's the beauty of this country. You get to say what you want. You get to post your position. Now, I come from a law enforcement background. I come from a background, 12 years in a police force. I come from a background that, have seen numerous people die, whether it was traffic accidents or murders, or assaults. I've seen all of that firsthand from a very young age. I've seen the damage and destruction caused by drugs. So, obviously, I have a different background than many people. So I fully respect those of you that believe, hey, we support recreational marijuana. I've been smoking it all my life, and I can drive fine. Well, that's fine. That's your opinion, and I can totally respect it. I don't agree with it, but again, my background comes from a different place. My background comes from a background where I've seen what drugs do. And then we talked about this last week. Many of you are very adamant that, hey, marijuana isn't a gateway drug. Well, I can show you a study that says it is, and I can show you a study that says it isn't. And I hate to repeat myself on these things, but I feel like I have to, because of the comments that are made. Gosh, my forehead is shiny. The light. I gotta go get a lighting system, I think. But I talk to the people that are affected. I talk to the people that are recovering addicts or current addicts, and that's who I think are worthy of the research. I think those are the ones that should be contributing to the information, and not some guy with a white smock sitting in some university up there in Penn State or UCLA who's never smoked a joint in his life, never spoke to a kid that has been addicted to dope since he was 9 years old. Those are the people I talk to families that are going through problems with their children who got addicted on heavy drugs, but it all started with marijuana. So yeah, you can all talk about the harmlessness of marijuana. Oh no, it makes me drive slower. No, what it does, it slows down your reflexes and your reaction time. That is not disputed. I'm sorry. I don't care what study you read. So, when you talk about, Lonnie, talking about edibles should have regulated low doses. Again, the problem is regulating that. The problem is, how do you get to all these people, all of these stores, and actually go and you're going to test them all? There's a documented story out in Oregon. I guess no, it was Colorado, where and I would have to go pull it up again, but I know I got this at a conference where a housekeeper at a hotel was cleaning the room, and there was a bag of cookies left behind unmarked. It must have come in a multiple pack. That's what the police kind of figured out. But she had assumed it was sealed, it was closed, and she had assumed that the guests had left it there as a gift for the housekeeper, and she ate the cookies like it was regular cookies. But no, it was marijuana. It was marijuana cookies with very high THC content. Edibles have no THC in it. That is simply not true, Julie. The edibles have very high THC contents in them. That's the problem. I think a lot of people have never walked into a marijuana store. A lot of people are sitting behind their computer screen and supporting this recreational marijuana, but they've never walked into a marijuana store on the mainland. And if you walk in there, it'll blow your mind, especially if you have kids or grandchildren. When you can go up there and look at THC contents up to 95%. When, the marijuana you all smoked back when you were kids, running about 4 or 5, maybe 6%, that was the heavy duty stuff. We're up to 95 and 100% THC, 80%, 70%. Obviously, the more you pay, the more THC you can get. No, edibles do have THC in them. They have quite a high level of THC in them. I'm not sure who told you that, Julie, but it's not true. When you go to a store and you see the edibles and you see there's Twinkies, there's popsicles, there's jelly beans, there's lollipops. All of them come with a content, and in those states they require you to have to post the content. And it's amazing at how much THC people want to buy. They want to get stoned. They want to get high. That's the whole thing about marijuana. So I haven't heard of anyone dying due to an overdose of marijuana. As far as recreational marijuana, certain laws that alcohol should be put in place. No driving under the influence. Again, this whole argument with the alcohol, absolutely, I agree. I mean, but we two wrongs don't make a right, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. We have an opportunity right now to try to fight the war on drugs. And some of you don't think marijuana is a drug. No, it's organic, it's natural. Yeah, it was back in the day. Today, because of the hybrids and because of the manipulation of the breeding, the crops, you got this very high THC levels, very low CBD levels. The cannabinoids, which are the parts that actually have the medicinal value. What you want to do is create a plant that has low THC, high CBDs. And there are those strains out there. There are those plants that provide the medicinal value. The CBD causes the medicinal value, not the THC. And I sound like I'm preaching, but that's just the way it is. People want to legalize marijuana because they want to get high and they don't want to get arrested for it. I don't think that you should go to jail for smoking marijuana. I don't. If you are 18 years old or whatever, you want to go smoke dope, hey, smoke to your heart's content. But why are we going to show our kids as a government that it's okay? That, in fact, marijuana is such a good thing that we're going to legalize it now, and you can buy it in a store and smoke it. We're going to lessen the importance and the seriousness of this drug. It's still a drug. It's a Schedule I drug. Now, once the Fed decides that, it doesn't have to be on the Schedule I list anymore, then that's a different story. But as of this moment, it is. And we got legislators that are going to get against that and say, no, we know better. The bottom line, yes, I have smoked marijuana, Dave. I have smoked a lot of marijuana when I was young. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I think we all did back then. I have not smoked marijuana in a very, 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 very long time. But I can tell you something. I personally know friends that smoked marijuana back when I was smoking marijuana that went to cocaine, went to heroin, went to acid, because you know what? The marijuana just wasn't enough and they wanted more. So I know, and I speak from experience, personal experience. I was blessed. I got in the police force at 19 years old. So that ended my drug experimentations and my drug use, marijuana use. Once I got the call from the police department, the brakes went on. But again, that was when the THC content in marijuana was very low. Today, it's different. Today, it's high. The addictability of marijuana is high, and you can dispute that with me all night long. I know. And again, it goes back to my research, talking to the people that actually do this. And yes, not everyone that smokes marijuana goes on to cocaine and ice and everything else. But the ones that are on ice, hey, Brian, Hoku, Mildred, the ones that are addicted to ice, the ones that are addicted to heroin today, go ask them, how did it all start? They did not start by smoking ice. Some did. But the vast majority of the people today that's hooked on that other rubbish started with a marijuana joint. I'm sorry, that's the fact. And that is from my own investigation and my own life's experience. Now, if you come across a different experience, that's fine. I respect that. I'm just telling you what I know. And our legislators know this. They do. Because 5 years ago, some of our legislators that are leading the charge agreed with me. How about decriminalize versus legalize? I prefer that, David. I'd be supporter of that. I don't believe you should go to prison for smoking dope. I don't. I think you should go to prison if you sell dope to kids. But I don't agree that we should legalize it recreationally across the board. At the same time that we're trying to make smoking illegal and that we're trying to make vaping illegal, what message are we sending to our kids? Really, what message are we sending to our kids? That marijuana is safer and better than cigarettes and vaping. That's the message I'm hearing from our brilliant legislature. And it makes no sense. I know there was a question here about what are your thoughts on a bill that raises legal age to purchase cigarettes? I understand that bill died. They needed more information because the public looked at them as being complete idiots. That they're going to raise the age limit to 100 years old. They actually wrote that in the bill. 100 years old. If you live to 100 years old and you want to smoke cigarettes, smoke dope, do whatever you want. But you see, I think once these legislators, they introduce these bills, maybe for the right reasons, they don't think it through. But when you got one side of the house saying, hey, we're gonna legalize marijuana, and then the other side say, but we're gonna ban cigarette smoking, we're gonna ban the sales of tobacco, but we're not going. This doesn't include cigars. It doesn't include vaping. It doesn't include chewing tobacco, just cigarettes. Like, I'm thinking, what the heck do these people think about? At the same time, we're trying to legalize recreational marijuana. So I think the backlash that they got, I think clearly made them see themselves in the mirror saying, I think we are looking like idiots. So let's kill the tobacco bill because we want the marijuana bill to pass because it's going to generate a ton of money. The tobacco, the sales of cigarettes to people at 100 years old or whatever, it's going to be a graduation of age up to every year, is going to cost us money in the tobacco tax. So let's kill that one because that's going to cost us money, and let's push for the recreational marijuana, which is going to make us money. So I don't know if they look at this stuff. I don't know if they all get together and figure out, what's our report card for today? Well, in my opinion, F. When you're talking about legalizing recreational marijuana and and then stopping, disallowing someone from purchasing cigarettes. I think that's an F. Not to get off topic, what message are we sending to our kids by putting a liar in the White House? Well, that is a whole different topic, Dave. That guy was, that's again, a democratic process, and we can get into that debate all day long. The difference is that elected officials didn't put Donald Trump into office. Elected officials weren't the ones that appointed Donald Trump into the office. The people did that. Elected officials are trying to legalize marijuana. Elected officials are trying to remove or take away the ability for people to buy cigarettes. So that's the big difference, David. The people voted Trump in. He wasn't appointed by elected officials. So I think that's where ban all smoking, no dope. Bold statement, Mel, regarding people smoking to get high, and I agree. Marijuana users took advantage of medical marijuana to the doctor and claiming to have pain. Now the door is open. Yeah, that was the door opener. And yet, while I support the use of medical marijuana, I've seen the cases that it does work, but that law is abused. The people that are getting that cards aren't people that need marijuana to live every day and to battle a disease or a disability. David Holland, that anyone can be president. Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. Did the ones who went on to harder drugs start with alcohol, tobacco, caffeine? Science disputes the gateway drug theory. The famous rat experience of the 50s, which demonstrated more than 90% of rats became addicted when offered cocaine or heroin in sterile labs. Drugs are the symptom, not the. I agree. Drugs are the symptom, not the problem. And rather than this legislature start working on the problems, focusing their energy and resources into the problems, like the homelessness, affordable housing, jobs, and so forth. No, they are looking at raising revenue. That's what they're doing. And they've run out of ways. Besides raising more taxes, they've run out of ways, and they're looking for creative ways. Hey, let's do gambling. Let's do drugs. Maybe prostitution. Well, who's the victim in a prostitution case? There's no victim. It's a victimless crime. But when you legalize marijuana, unbelievable. Lonnie Cycles, harsher laws for drug distribution. Absolutely. Like I said, for me, you want to smoke, enjoy life. Life is short. But distribution, when you're selling that crap to our kids, no, you should go to jail. You should go to jail. And that I'm sorry. And that, whether it's law enforcement, whether it's just my upbringing or what, I got zero tolerance for people that are ruining our young kids' lives. Zero tolerance. So you want to smoke till you vomit. Smoke till you start seeing unicorns in the sky. But do not even give the impression that marijuana is safe to our kids. That's something I just simply cannot agree on. It's amazing. I think a lot of my supporters during the campaign, one of the questions in the debate was about the legalization of marijuana, and I made it very clear that I was not a supporter of legalizing recreational marijuana. And Derek said he was still on the fence, that he was undecided. And I got to tell you, I did hear from people that said they changed their mind. They decided not to vote for me because of my stance on marijuana. Well, I'm perfectly fine with that. This county has many, many issues, many problems. And if I lost this election because I supported or I didn't support legalizing recreational marijuana, I fully accept that. You know what? I fully accept that. What should happen to the Oxy family who made billions for their opioid sales? I believe they should spend the rest of their natural lives in prison. I forget that family's name. I wish I could remember their name, but unbelievable. Shifting topics. Do you have info about why permanent lane striping isn't done fronting Kuhil Motors and the gas company in Lihui? I got to tell you that their answer is that with the new Tiger Grant project that's going to be starting up shortly on Rice Street, they're going to redo the lanes. We all know about the Tiger Grant, that I did not support that 14 million or to turn Rice Street into a 2-lane highway. But anyway, the answer that I kept getting, I haven't brought this up since I've been out of the council, but while I was there, we fought a long time for the paving of the road and the striping. They said they're not going to do any of that until the Tiger project is complete. So I hope that answered your question. It's a terrible answer, because I think the striping is vital, is very important. But I will definitely follow up, Don, on that again and see what's the status of that. I will do that, David. I will actually watch that. Murder Mountain. Not sure what it's about, but I will. That absolutely will watch that show. Corey, thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's funny because we talking about the roads. It was always my position that we should open up the inland road and along the corridor, the Wailua corridor, because it will alleviate traffic. Obviously, you provide another 1-lane road another artery into Lihui from Kapa'a or from Wailua. And so I posted that on Facebook, and it was interesting, how people said, well, Mel, but that road isn't safe, and there's no lights on the road. Well, I don't know how many of you drive the Wailua corridor at night. There's no lights on the highway either. There are no lights along Kuyo Highway, except that I think at the intersection by the golf course, there's a little street lamp, but there's no lights on that road. So I think the opening of that Kane Road is vital to relieving some of the traffic congestion in Kapa'a. Now, yes, we got to spend some money to resurface that road. Yes, but I think the reward is worth it. I think the fact that we'll be able to get that traffic moving quicker into town, I believe, is worth it. So I just thought it was funny when someone posted, yeah, but there's no lights on the road. Yeah, there isn't lights on that road, but there's no lights on the highway either. So we just got to drive carefully and drive slow. You gotta mark the lanes with reflective tape, and you put guardrails where you need the guardrails. Yes, it comes with a cost, but it's worth it. Didn't the Philippine president enact a shoot now and ask questions later due to drugs? Drug dealers were actually turning themselves in. I don't know if he came up with that policy. I definitely was the rumor that they were going out. He sent the posse out to go exterminate anybody that was suspected of dealing drugs. And yes, as far as drug dealers turning themselves in, that is true, because I was in the Philippines last year, and I did ask some of the natives there, and yeah, they were turning themselves in for fear that they would be getting killed. So yeah, Philippines, that they whether or not they had a dent in the drug, I think they did kill a lot of drug dealers, and they did put a lot of them away, but I don't know what impact it had. I obviously don't have the data for that. Have you heard of anything about a body on the beach? No, I have not. Mel, why do we allow all the county trash trucks to drive through the middle of Lihui instead of driving through the port? I don't know, Rob. I mean, that's something that I think the council could probably enact, the legislation that would prohibit any large trucks from going through any road. Is something that I think would have to be looked at by the county council. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's just something that was never brought up while I was there. Something that I would definitely suggest that you bring it up with someone from the new council. All right. Anyway, it is 6:29. We got another minute to go. I want to thank all of you again for joining us on Facebook Live every Wednesday, 5:30 to 6:30. Don't forget to go to my YouTube channel. All of these videos are posted up there. Just search for Mel Rapozo. Get to my channel. You can watch today's or anyone else you wanted to watch. We'll also gonna be posting more videos. So when you get to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button too. And we'll be posting more and more videos as we go through what's coming up. But yeah, we have fun doing this. I thank you guys. We had a lot of people watch this live and after the fact. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about next week, just shoot me a message, a text, or whatever. Let me know what you want me to do some research on. We'll keep up to date on the Honolulu audit of the rail. the Kealoha case, the Kanashiro case. Obviously, marijuana will always be on the top of my agenda. Why are you being asked all the questions? The mayor guy should answer. Good question, Napa. But you know what? This is an avenue for you folks to vent a little bit, share with me your concerns, and trust me, any of the concerns you have that require the county to take a look at, I do forward over to them. So rest assured that it's not just being spoken to here. Follow-up, if needed, will be done at my request. So anyway, thank you guys. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you out there, especially the ladies. But Valentine's Day does work for men too. So happy Valentine's to all of you. Again, Larry Moises, happy birthday. And congratulations to Kapaa High School soccer, men's soccer, Waimea High School girls basketball. You guys have a great night. God bless. We love you guys. Take care. Aloha.